Hello, Queen's College. My name is Richard Browning, and I'm the founder and chief test pilot from Gravity, and we build and fly these 1,000 horsepower jet suits you might have possibly seen on TV or on social media. I have the very great privilege of spending a couple of minutes of your time on this very important day of your speech day and just sharing a little bit of my background, which just so happens to involve Queen's College. So I joined Queen's in the junior school when I was 9 years old. I remember distinctly sharing my 10th birthday with my newfound wide family of brothers and sisters. And speaking as an only child, that was quite unusual, suddenly being immersed in that size group of people. But I've got very fond memories of the junior school. And then I went through the senior school and left at 18. I think I did reasonably well. I dragged myself through all the academic hurdles. That was back in, I think it was 1997, which is a shock to me when I started to try and work that out. I went on then to Cardiff University. I studied exploration geology. I was originally going to go and join the army as an officer. I had a place to go and do that, but actually deviated towards using the degree I had spent all that time studying, and ended up joining BP. However, I deviated again, and rather than sort of pursuing that technical side of my training, I actually discovered oil trading within BP and spent most of my 16-year career there, actually, I suppose, getting as close as you can to running an entrepreneurial activity within that larger organization. I think it was always my desire to run my own business like I do now. But back then, that was, I think, the closest I'd found. In parallel, I scratched that military itch by joining the Royal Marines Reserve and got my Green Beret in the end, which I'm very proud of. And I think, you know, that background together with a very strong family background in aviation and engineering really all came together back in 2016, where I hatched this idea around human flight. You know, could you achieve flight in a very unusual way by using your brain and your body, your brain from a flight balance point of view and your body from a flight structure perspective? And could you, rather than sitting on or inside a flight vehicle, actually get as close as possible to you flying physically by yourself? Sounds a completely mad idea, even still now, but that was the journey that I embarked on back in 2016. I did it all alongside my really quite busy day job, but I was passionate about the vision of where this could possibly get to. But at the same time, I think throughout my last 20 odd years of work life, I think I've embarked on a number of different journeys, not afraid though to realize that actually the skeptics are right, and learn from those mistakes and then pick myself back up again and then give another unusual challenge a go. I think you have to work on a ratio of about 19 failures to every one major scale success. And it's quite hard to wade your way through those failures and that kind of ratio. But I think that's the price you pay when you really try and step out of the kind of collection of assumed norms. And very much there was a prevailing view that what I had in my mind here with one of these was going to be not feasible. I should also mention we are imminently heading off for the Goodwood Festival of Speed. That's why there is only one of those sitting there. There's some blank spaces sitting behind me. So maybe we might see some of you there if you're going to be at that event. So anyway, my journey's been an unusual one. I mean, Gravity, we launched the company actually as an organization in 2017. Since then, we've been to 115 events in 34 countries and built a really diverse and successful business model out of not only entertainment and training people, but also in the military and search and rescue realms as well. And I think if I take a step back, I have a lot to thank Queen's for, because not only did the school get me through from an academic point of view and emerge with a decent set of results, which obviously means, you've got other doors open to you upon leaving. But also, I think it never sort of beat out of me that, frankly, childlike desire to question and explore and challenge. I'm finding now my eldest son seems to have the same kind of desire to always ask why and get under the surface of something rather than just learn by rote the facts, which has its place. I'm a massive believer in the value of going one step underneath and trying to understand the why. If you arm yourself with that knowledge, then actually it empowers you to go and question and challenge the outcomes, if that makes sense. And I think those skills are ever more important in the world we're all operating in now. So I have no doubt Queen's has retained that same spirit, and that skill set will really arm you, particularly you going off to greater adventures, having done your A-levels. I think that skill set is something you should always retain. Never lose that questioning, childlike curiosity. So it was a very great pleasure. I came, and I can't remember exactly when it was now. I think it must have been before COVID, or I wouldn't have been allowed. But I came over to open your still quite new DT building and do a flight around the playing fields. So that was a great privilege to come back after all these years. And really, I think all this, all I've got to say after this is really just that, go on to those greater adventures, retain that fascination and excitement for the world around you, and thoroughly enjoy your summer holidays. And not least because of all the challenges that I know COVID must have caused your particular age group. It has been an enormous challenge, but then again, every time life throws challenges at you, you can usually see it as a sort of glass half full challenge and see what new opportunities you can kind of conjure up from them. So, out of adversity comes opportunity. So have a wonderful summer. Sorry I can't be there in person, and maybe one day I can come and do one of these actually live in person rather than remotely, and have a wonderful time. Thank you very much.